Hello, South Pacific Alliance family, and welcome to the Next Gen Check-In. Last month, I gave you an update on how you can get trained and connected to our district through a bunch of awesome things. The Better Together Gathering, Next Ministry Conference, Tech Training Day, the SPA Coaching Cohort, Winter Camp next March, and we didn't even talk about the Alliance Youth Vision trips that are available for youth workers, or the Youth Worker Gathering in January that's happening in Indianapolis. The point, of course, was that there's lots to know about, and you can find out more about all of those things at cmaspa.org/nextgen. Because today, I want to talk to you about evangelism. John 13:34 and 35 say this: "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another, just as I have loved you, and you are also to love one another. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." If you don't know where to start with evangelism, start here. If you're not an evangelist or preacher or apologist, start with this. Start with love. Even if you are those things, start with love. Evangelism is hard because it has to be personal. We can't just chuck these truths at people and hope for the best. The gospel is a gift to humanity, and we should present it as such, wrapped in a context that appeals to the one receiving. Today, it is experience and feeling that drives the understanding of truth. No longer do we simply get to debate and trust that people will wrestle with the truth of what they hear. Each person's story and life are unique and are being validated and affirmed, which makes the general truths and call of God less impacting. Now, don't get me wrong. The gospel and the love and grace of Jesus are still for everyone. But people need to feel like they belong before they believe. Most people just want a place to belong, and the church should be that place for everyone. But we don't always make space for those who aren't quite like us. It's human nature. And it's hard, and it has to be intentional to create the opportunity for people to belong. But I return to this verse in John and remind myself that evangelism must start with love and grace. Years ago at a district conference, our speaker, Steve Elliott, said to me as I was wrestling with a situation, "If you've never been accused of having too much grace, you're doing it wrong." That has stuck with me, lingered in my heart and my mind. We live in a broken and hurting world, and many people today recognize that. And while those who don't believe need a savior, they want a healer, and Jesus is both. You can help them see all of who Jesus is, Savior, Sanctifier, Healer, and Coming King, by pouring out the love and grace that Jesus has given to us, one person at a time. And you might end up being surprised by what kind of doors God opens for you to share the gospel when we lead with love. This fall at Next Conference and our Tech Training Day, we're going to be diving in to what it means to evangelize to this generation and in your context. I hope that you'll join us either October 14th or November 4th. You can register for either of those now on our website, and I hope that you'll join us. My prayer is that your love is apparent to every child and student who walks into your classroom, and that God would give you the boldness to speak a loving truth to them at the right time. In the meantime, don't be ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. And thank you for checking in with me.